And Reverend Barry Lynn, Executive Director, Americans United for the Separation of Church and State, says some leaders are simply going too far. Reverend Lynn is in Washington. Good to have you with us, Barry.
Nice to be back.
Let's start with this issue of everybody getting involved in politics from the pulpit, from coalitions of churches and organizations. Do you think we're at risk, Barry?
Well, I certainly do. There's no doubt that the tax laws do permit people to talk from the pulpit about the great moral issues of the day. That's pretty much been happening for a very long time in the United States, almost from the beginning of the founding of the country. However, now we've got people, including Mr. Perkins there, who would like to make tax-exempt organizations able to literally endorse candidates from the pulpit and use the powerful resources of the church not just to talk about moral issues, but actually to endorse candidates. That would be a terrible idea. We've already seen the Internal Revenue Service investigating and hearing about more and more of these intrusions by religious groups into the promotion of partisan political candidates. It's got to stop.
Tony?
Barry, that would be great if you would draw the line on that and say simply that, churches can talk about the issues, but, I've seen the scare tactics that you've undergone, that you've in sending out these letters, intimidating churches and pastors where they feel like they can't speak to the issues. We've never advocated that churches violate the law to endorse candidates. The law is very clear on that. But they can speak to the issues without hesitance. And we have spoken out in defense of even liberal churches and liberal pastors who have been against this administration, been against the war, been against the tax cuts, because we believe that people of faith have something to add to the public discussion.
Well, they do have something to add to the public discussion, but one thing they shouldn't add under the tax laws if they want to keep their tax exemption is the endorsement of candidates. Again, Tony, you got to realize we never tell people they can't talk about global warming, or they can't talk about abortion, or they can't talk about the great moral issues. We just say draw the line when it comes to the endorsement of candidates.
That's not happening, Barry. Churches are not endorsing candidates.
Of course, we just had a gentleman named Bill Keller with a ministry in Florida who put out a statement last week where he said if you voted for Mitt Romney, you would be voting for Satan. Now, tell me that's not an anti-endorsement of Mitt Romney.
Wait a minute, you said they were endorsing candidates. That's not endorsing a candidate.
The law says, and you know this, the law says endorsing candidates or opposing candidates, and frankly, you know that, although it's a clever line. But you know you can't endorse